In this video, I want to give you an in-depth review of my personal experience with Marie Poulin's Notion Mastery course, and hopefully it will give you an idea of what you would get yourself into if you're ready to take your Notion setup to the next level. So grab your notepad and let's get ready to take some notes. So a few weeks ago, somebody reached out to me via Twitter asking me questions about my experience with the course because they had seen me on the sales page of the course. So after I answered a lot of the questions, this person ended up taking the course and ended up really liking the course. So I thought maybe there are other people who have similar questions. So I decided to make this video, and hopefully it will help you clarify, or maybe like it will give you an idea of what you can do or what you can build with the course. For the record, I'm a Notion ambassador. I'm also including an affiliate link for the course. So if you watch this video and if it helps you and if you decide to take the course, please use that link. I get a small commission at no additional cost to you. I'm also including a link to get my client management portal, which I pretty much use it every day, and I completely redesigned after taking Marie's course and after getting a lot of the feedback from her office hours. So first of all, I think a lot of people have questions. I'm going to go over those questions first, and then I'm going to give you my overall opinion about the course. Okay, the first question comes from James. It says, favorite aspect of the course, what do you wish was different? So I would say that the course is a lot more than just a course about Notion. So in a way, like Marie Poulin has a background. Her background is in strategy, in business consulting, in workflow design, and all of that, her knowledge, I think, is pretty much embedded in the course and how it's designed, how the content is structured and organized. So in a way, like I felt as I was learning and as I was consuming the content, I felt, or it made me really think about how to structure, organize, and design content. And that was, to me, extremely helpful. There's like so much good content, well organized, that I don't think you could find anywhere else. So I think that was like one of my favorite parts of the course, that you have great content, is very well organized, and you can learn so much more than just the course. Another aspect of the course that I really liked was the community. So there's a really wide range of professions, of different people, creative people, just regular professionals, and they're doing very different things with the same platform. And that was like fascinating for me to see. Some of the ideas that I had were really, I think, directly linked to some of the questions that I've seen in office hours or things that I've seen people build. So if it's just you learning, you will only ask questions that you know. But I think what this course can do is it will open up things that would have never occurred to you, and it will really unlock certain things for you. That's at least what happened to me, and I was able to build like interesting things based on my experience with the course. The last thing that I really liked about the course is this hybrid sort of model of having a live component, which was like the office hours and the community, and also like the passive component. Something like with Notion, what happens is like different people have very different levels of understanding, and some people just get it like right away. Some people just need more time. So putting everybody on the same track that is like, live, I'm not sure if it would have been good, but this was, I think, perfect for Notion and how Marie has it set up, where there is this like enormous amount of content that you can take your time. Nobody's rushing you to see and to find what you need when you need it. That was great. The live aspect was also like awesome, because I'm a big fan of Marie, and just having access to her, being able to ask questions and getting feedback, that is amazing. Okay, so the question about what I wish was different, most of the content is living on Notion. So on the one hand, it's great because you see how content, like what you can build on Notion just by seeing like the content that is on Notion. the other thing is, because you have all this like intelligence centralized in one place, like a library, it's difficult for you to track what you've done. So for like most like course platforms that are built for online classes, will tell you like your track, which unit you've seen, which you have left to do. That is missing. But I mean, in a way, like Notion, just because of the nature of the course, I'm not sure if that would have worked. Okay, the next question is from Choi Beer. Should a frustrated Evernote user consider jumping ship? I have 10 years of notes in Evernote, which is the only reason I'm hardly considering other options. I get this question quite often. Okay, I have like 10 years worth of note here. How can I dump it all on Notion? How can I switch? Like I'm afraid of switching. So what I would say is like, maybe before you start doing any of that, you might want to get to know Notion just a little bit to figure out maybe whether it's the right choice for you and whether it's the right tool for you. Because maybe like Evernote suits you fine and everything is great. In that case, why change? So one word here that I would point that, I don't know, just raises a red flag is the word frustrated. So maybe there is something about what you're using currently now that is not satisfying or is a little bit inconvenient. And I think those are the things that you want to maybe like dig a little bit deeper and try to understand what's frustrating about them. What are some things that you wish there were, but there isn't. And maybe Notion can solve some of those. Notion is, just as any tool, is not perfect, and it will not solve everything, right? But I think for me, I was using Google Drive, and it was very Notion made a big difference in surfacing a lot of information that I was just like spending time digging and looking for and finding. And it had a lot of some of like the linking capabilities that I learned through the course really helped me like understand how I can like just really like optimize and streamline and maximize I think my time and my work. Okay, the next question is it geared toward beginners? And absolutely yes. But I don't want to give anything away about the course, because if you're taking the course, I want you to experience it and feel the magic and the surprise. But what I felt was really neat is very well thought out and very well considered. But I like how, sometimes we are beginners and we don't even, like, it's so relative, but I really liked what Marie considered content for beginner level, like student. So instead of talking about how to make a checklist or bullet point or going through the different blocks, which is already there as well, but one of the first videos was about get to know Notion and just creating a very simple weekly planner type of text. That was to me fascinating. Just dividing the columns, the different styles of text, the different headlines. So that just gives you one example of how the course is structured, and it's just very well thought out. It's very well organized, and I think if I looked for the things that I thought I needed, I would have missed out on a lot of things that I didn't even know I needed. But going through the course and the different modules that Marie has in her setup was extremely helpful for me to really have a good understanding of the course. I hope that helps. Okay, so the next question is, how is your usage now different than when you started? It's quite different now, because when I first started, maybe about a year ago, it was more as a weekly planner. Okay, I'm going to make swipe files and swipe pages, but I'm using it to make proposals for to manage all my client work. And all of those ideas, I think, came from Marie, just by seeing what she was doing. So I would say very different, and I think in a way is just by seeing what other people are doing, some of the things that Marie is doing, that really unlocked a lot of this creativity. The other question is, planning to use it for daily and weekly planning, journaling, and also as a log for my books and notes. Does the course cover these? Yeah, absolutely. So even Marie has an all-in-one personal, super everything's connected and everything works type of, you know, template that she's selling actually for, I think, like over $100, but you get it as part of the course. And I'm a believer of like, you know, I think the best template is the template that you build. But I think it's a great place to start. And besides like templates about books, journals, and all of that, that is like everything is linked and everything is pretty much ready to go. You have a lot of other templates that have been like really tweaked and refined over like the past 2 years. So yeah, I mean, like there's so many things that you can do. I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, so the last question is, could you have gotten the same info had you binged on her YouTube videos instead? This question, like this very question I had before I took the course, and I would say yes and no. I mean, if you have a lot of patience and a lot of time, you can like watch like hours and hours, and probably like they're like a week worth of content or even more about Notion. There's so many Notion videos. But sometimes like they're super long, and maybe like you only need the 5 minutes stuck in the middle to help you with one thing that you're stuck on. And with the course, you can just like, you know, ask a question directly to Marie or to the coach or, you know, like students, and you'll pretty much get a response right away. So I would say yes and no in that, like, yeah, you could spend a lot of time absorb that content, but I think it's saved me a lot of time, a lot of like sweat equity, that, you know, like if I have a question, I can look up like the list of questions, maybe somebody had already asked that. So that was like super helpful for me. The other thing that you definitely don't get with YouTube is the community. So Marie has her community on Circle, and I think those are things that it's really hard to get with the YouTube. So even now, and there's a book club going on. It doesn't work so well with like my hours, but there are like non-Notion things that, you know, like just are fun to do. You get to meet people, and then you can apply those things on Notion. So yes and no in that, yes. The other thing is, I mean, you get access to this instructor, right, and like to the community, and you have access to all these people. You can ask them questions, and I think that's very special. Okay, so far those were some of the questions that I received, and I just wanted to give you some additional final thoughts about my experience with the course. These courses are not cheap. I really think you should really carefully consider whether you want to take it or not. A couple things that might help you make that decision in an educated and thoughtful way. Number one, I think you can do research for free with YouTube or asking people whether that program or platform is for you. Maybe like Notion is not for you, right? You're totally fine with what you're doing now with your setup, with your current setup, so don't even worry about it. Now, if you want to, you're pretty sure like Notion, you want to learn and you feel like it's not enough, I would now, the next step is to like get to know Marie, right? Like she has a lot of videos on YouTube, and she's quite generous on YouTube. So what I would say is that you want to like your instructor. And in my case, I'm a teacher, and I think I'm pretty good at identifying teachers that really care about teaching. And Marie is a great teacher, and she's a great facilitator. She will ask you very good questions, and those things you can tell from her office hours. Some of the questions she's asking just really helped me like evaluate like why I was doing certain things and why she was doing certain things. In her setups, she will many times like talk out loud, and she will think out loud, okay, I'm doing this because I want to do that. And all of those things really, I think, help me to think about my content and to think about what is actually streamlined and actually like frictionless, or like, you know, how to reduce the friction. Okay, the third thing is money. Okay, so like there are 3 tiers, and I know it's not cheap. It's like these courses are expensive, and I know that some of you cannot afford it. I would say if money is like the only reason why you can't move forward, I'm also including a scholarship link that you can apply to. Like, I can't guarantee you're gonna get it, but if that's the only problem that you have is money, I would definitely make your application strong, so you might be able to qualify. I know I've talked about like office hours because I think it's such an important part of my growth. That's how it was for me. So I would, if you can afford it, I would strongly recommend like the middle tier on, because like it really was through office hours that like I asked some questions that really unlocked like the full potential of these setups. So, and I mean, YouTube is like a super public place. So Marie, I've noticed that in her office hours, she will be a little bit more flexible and more open to sharing her personal setup. So those are things to consider. Like if you can afford it, I'll go middle on. If you absolutely can't, I think you can still see like the previous office hours, and then you can also have access to all this like content for like the lower tier, and always consider getting the scholarship. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful. If you decide to take the course, please use the affiliate link that I've included in the description. I get a small commission and no additional cost to you. And whatever you decide, I really hope that you have a good setup. You can design a great workflow for this, this 2021. Wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you in my next video.